Have you ever been so drained that even the thought of getting up off the couch seems impossible? Well, I've been there and it is a struggle, but today we're going to talk about how to turn that fatigue into fuel. So let's get into it. So today we're going to talk about why we sometimes lose energy, how we use procrastination to cope with unpleasant emotions and stress, and then also some tips on how to kickstart your motivation. I've talked a little bit about recent experiences that I've had with an investment property and how stressful that experience has been. It led to a series of procrastination that put a lot of things behind and made it to where I was not able to accomplish my goals last year. So coming into this year, I made a deal with myself that we're going to do things differently and we are not going to allow procrastination to take over and for lack of motivation to be an excuse for not accomplishing our goals. And so this year I've been able to really turn things around, and I have used the stress of those experiences as the motivation to get moving, and I've gotten a really good result. So I think today, with the things that we're going to talk about, you can do the same thing too. So let's talk about why we lose energy. There are common reasons why we will lose energy. Obviously, we would lose energy if we have some kind of medical issue that's going on. Sometimes loss of energy is a symptom of a bigger mental health disorder. But in general, there are still lots of reasons why we would lose energy. One reason is burnout. When we have a lot of stress and a lot of things on our plate, and we're kind of doing the same thing repetitively, it can lead to burnout, particularly if we don't feel like we have the support that we need in order to be successful. That's going to cause burnout to happen a lot quicker. And so burnout is something that we need to manage. In addition to that, we need to manage our stress level, because when stress goes up, other things kind of fall off. Sometimes we need to make lifestyle changes that will help to decrease our overall level of stress, and that will help us keep a healthier mindset, which then will help boost our energy level and our motivation. Lack of sleep is a big problem for a lot of people. Obviously, if you're not sleeping, your body is not resting and recharging like it needs to, and so you are going to have less energy because you're not getting that reset that you need at night. So that's definitely something to pay attention to, as well as your nutrition. Our body needs fuel to run, and if we are not giving it the fuel that it needs, it's probably not going to be functioning the way that it needs to, and that's going to cause additional problems like low energy. Now, one of the myths that we have about motivation is that we need to be motivated in order to do things. Like, if I'm not motivated, I cannot do things. And that is basically a lie. You do not have to be motivated to take action. Action is connected to our behavior. Motivation is connected to our thoughts. We can choose to behave in a certain way even if the thoughts about it are not as positive as we want it to be. So when we think about what motivation actually is and where it comes from action. If I can choose to take a step in a certain direction, then my thoughts will follow, because our thoughts, feelings, and behavior work together. So even if my thoughts are not in line with my goals and where I want to be, I can choose to behave in a way that is in line, and then I will get a better result that will shift my thinking to match with my behavior. It goes both ways. So if the thoughts are not there, then change the behavior and the thoughts will follow. So here are 4 easy strategies that you can use to help build or create motivation and energy. One is the 5-minute rule. So this is going to give you a quick win and help to boost your energy and motivation to then continue with that activity. So basically how it works is that you're going to commit to doing this one thing for just 5 minutes. And the thought behind that is that if I can commit to doing it for 5 minutes, then I can probably continue on for another 5 or another 10 or until the work is done. You can use micro workouts and movement to help build energy as well. Obviously, our body needs to move, and it's important that we're able to move our bodies on a daily basis, which is hard when you're used to a sedentary lifestyle, like you're used to just like being a couch potato and not doing things, and then we kind of get in the habit of that. So just committing to doing something really short, really quick, take maybe like a 2-minute walk and get your body moving moving. That's going to start the blood and oxygen flowing and circulating through your system, which is then going to kind of re-energize your body and your cells in your body and give you just like that quick boost of energy that will then hopefully help kind of switch your momentum into a more positive direction. We talked about how you can change your behavior to shift your mindset. You can also shift your mindset to change your behavior. And so that's where positive self-talk and changing your perspective about things. We switch up what we say to ourselves and how we talk to ourselves to get more in line with what we want to be. And the fourth strategy is to establish a mini routine. We all have our morning routine or our night routine and things that we do on a daily basis. Sometimes if we can just tweak that just a little bit, then we can instantly increase our motivation on a daily basis. So it could include something like doing just like a little 5-minute stretching exercise when we first get up in the morning. Nothing too strenuous. We're not trying to change our whole lifestyle, but just a small change like that can then shift the momentum for your whole rest of your day. And if it's a part of your daily routine, then this is something that you're doing every day and you're being intentional about your mindset going into your day. So that's going to help boost your energy. It can help boost your motivation and just get your mind going in a positive direction before you ever even step out the door. So how do we avoid falling into the procrastination trap? Because procrastination is a coping strategy. It is there to help protect us from things that don't feel good or things that seem too boring or whatever is going on, things that are stressful. And so it creates an environment where temporarily, if I can put this thing off, I instantly feel better. My stress level goes down, but the thing is still there and still has to be done. And now it's stacked on top of other things. And that's just going to keep the stress cycle going. We don't want to fall into that trap because while it seems to help in the short term, it's actually causing more harm than good. So how do we get out of this procrastination cycle? We got to start small. Baby steps do count. So if I can just create one step, like one baby step to move in a positive direction, it's going to increase my motivation to take the next step. It also helps to track your progress. If you can see, like visually see how you're doing and pay attention to your progress with that, it makes it more likely that you're going to want to continue. On your calendar, you can check off or put a gold star or put something there to indicate that you did accomplish that task that day. When you look at that calendar and you see a whole month of like, I did this, like I'm doing good, you're gonna want to continue once you can see the streak happening. All right, so long story short, low energy and lack of motivation is normal. This is something that we all have to deal with from time to time, and there's nothing weird about that. But it's easily overcome if we can be intentional about what we're doing and how we're thinking about things. So taking action is actually what creates motivation. So if you can figure out a way to just take small steps in the direction that you want to go, and then you're doing that consistently, you're going to get bigger and better results. So it's not really about doing all the things all at once. It's about doing the small things consistently. And if you can do that, you will accomplish your goal, you will build your motivation, and you will be encouraged to continue. So don't think about it as I have to do all the things. You really just have to do that one thing first, and then the rest will follow. So like the video if you like the video, subscribe and hit the bell notification so you don't miss an episode. Leave a comment and let me know, have you had struggles with motivation? What did you do? How did you build that motivation and get your energy level back up? And what worked for you? And as always, fear nothing, assume nothing, and take nothing for granted. All right, y'all, go be great.